Welcome to the UNCG MSAT Continuing Education Module on Evidence-Based Practice. This is Part 5, Example of Using Evidence-Based Practice in the Literature. Please complete all 10 parts in the quiz that follows to receive your CEU. Let's begin. In the previous parts, we have talked about the basics of evidence-based practice and what we teach here at UNCG. Using those fundamental basics, let's now apply that to an actual article that was found in the literature. This article was discussing the use of a tuning fork in detecting a fracture in the fibula. As this photo is illustrating, you place the tuning fork on the distal malleolus and a stethoscope proximal. The idea being that in a fully intact fibula, you will hear a clear sound from the tuning fork. In a fracture, the acoustical waves will be disrupted by the fracture point and the sound will be diminished and or muffled through the stethoscope. Looking at the statistical evidence presented in the paper, you can see our classic 2x2 contingency table, which we went over in Part 1, with our true positives, our true negatives, and how we calculate likelihood ratios, positive predictive values, and of course sensitivity and specificity. You'll notice in this article, just using the eyeball test and not actually calculating real sensitivity or specificity, we can look at sensitivity and specificity values and see that our true positive and true negative diagonal is actually quite high as compared to our false negative and false positive diagonals, which shows us, just looking grossly and with the eyeball test, that this particular outcome or this particular clinical test seems to be pretty good. Looking at Table 2, you can look at the actual percentage of the diagnostic accuracy, and you will see that values of 100, 181 are actually quite good. You notice that values based on our Part 1 ballpark numbers of 67 and 60 is poor to moderate, and that this value of 75 for the ulna is right on the borderline of being good. Using this as an example, we can show our students here at UNCG how to self-calculate positive predictive values, negative predictive values, sensitivity and specificity, and how we can use this in determining clinical decision-making skills. In the next section, we'll be going through how we use evidence-based practice and the model of evidence-based practice here at UNCG.